Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to today's live. I'm the Urban Seer, your guide to love, destiny, and manifesting the life you desire. Anyone watching on replay, please do join us on Monday, Wednesdays, or Fridays. Just bring your question and receive a free reading. But hey to everyone in the chat and who's joined us today, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're doing well, and if you're not, then I hope this session brings you some clarity, some peace and insight that you're seeking. As usual, if you would like a free reading, just click the link in the pinned comment. You'll be added to the list and just wait for your name to be called. A reminder of how I read. So I'm an energy reader, tuning into you and your situation and anyone else in that situation. So please do provide as much context and detail as possible. It allows me to connect with your energy and give you a meaningful reading. I don't do yes/no questions, timelines, or general readings. So please do bear that in mind when posting your question. Just check the chat for all the guidelines. They're all there just in the Nightbot posts. And I regularly do list updates. So if you want to know where you are in the list, just check the chat. Like I say, I post that regularly. But let's get into it. Hey, everyone in the chat. Hey, Shruti. Shruti, thank you so much for your kind message that you posted on the last live as well. I really appreciate that. That was very thoughtful of you. And Anne as well, who also commented. All kind of likes and comments on the post do help support and boost the channel. So, and I just appreciate the feedback as well. So thank you so much for that. And let me know, is Shruti, is that the correct pronunciation? Let me know. Hey, Namira. Hey, Cece. Hey, Anne. Samreen. I'm going to head over. Hey, Tia, Priya. Head over and grab the list. So bear with me 1 second. How is everyone this Wednesday, though? Midweek. How's the week so far? Good, bad? Ugly, beautiful? Shruti. So yes, hopefully that's right, Shruti. And you are number 1 on the list as well. So whenever you're ready, just go ahead and post your question. And today I'm using the Guardian of the Night Tarot, which is a beautiful deck that has nature and animal inspired images. Thanks for confirming, Shruti, that's the right pronunciation. So Shruti asks, what are my energy blocks when it comes to manifesting a job? Great question. I sometimes come so close and get rejected at the last round, or I get fired within first week for getting sick. I can, Shruti. There's always a bit of a delay, unfortunately, in the chat for me. So just bear with me. It's not that I haven't seen your question. It's just it's not that you haven't posted your question. It hasn't come through. It's just delayed in coming through to me. So just bear with me on that lag. Okay, great question, Shruti. Let's see what's blocking this. How frustrating to feel like you've come so close and it feels just out of reach. Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles is someone who, it's interesting because it's Pentacles, so it is this energy is around work, money. It's like how we interact with the world. And it's like you needing to, I feel, embody your Queen of Pentacles energy, okay? Queen of Pentacles has a very abundant energy. She's also very, like I say, worldly wise. So there's maybe something about how you interact with the material world and the 3D. I don't know if that's challenging for you, how you feel, what are your energies, what are your thought processes, your mental diet around work, around money. It's always worth, I think, journaling to really dig down into what your blocks are. So just take a moment to tune into your inner voice. And if you think about work, what comes up, let that rise up. Because the Queen of Pentacles is very grounded and is very stable. And in a way, like the 3D or the material world and the workplace can be very harsh. Yeah, it can be a tough place. So if you are more maybe sensitive, creative, emotionally driven, take what resonates, leave what doesn't here. Or it could be that you get easily bored, even that you are more influenced by fire energy and that you're impulsive, you get bored, you don't want to be tied down. There's lots of things here. And the Queen of Pentacles kind of appreciates and the stability that work can bring. So it's kind of like finding your approach to work and to money and trying to reframe it as maybe it's something at the minute that you feel like you have to do. And the Queen of Pentacles is more tapped into, in a way, really, the positive energies of work, the framing work as something that can be enjoyed, that has value, that can build our confidence, that can build our personal power. So you're emotional and creative and you get bored easily. I mean, it's also about finding the right job for you, Shruti, as well. If you are emotionally and creative led, then it's also about finding the right job. I'm going to pull one more card, but I feel like it's about trying to find your inner Queen of Pentacles, if that resonates. Trying to see, what benefits the work is, like obviously the monetary reward, but it's also the security. And it's about finding work that still allows you to be you. Yeah. We will never thrive in something that's, really oppressive. Anything else, Spirit, about removing these blocks? Maybe at the minute you just see that work is a should and a have to, instead of finding some work that you value, Shruti. What would you like to do? Can you think of an area? I don't know if you have a particular career path, if that's available to you, if you maybe studying is something. Have you completed all your studies? Is this something that you could go back to? I don't know the ins and outs of your situation. And then you see if you can tap into that Queen of Pentacles, your inner Queen of Pentacles, who can see the value of work and how you can be finding somewhere that you can be yourself and make money from it and get stability, but it's not suppressing who you are. Then things can move fast. And if you can make this mind shift, manifesting a job that is something that you can actually enjoy as well, that it's not just work, just getting the money from the job, just getting that financial stability isn't enough for you, Shruti. A writer. A writer is the dream job. That's beautiful, but I think it's difficult, so I gave up. I am an engineer, IT. So I understand, like, it can be hard to balance. So, you know, we have to pay the bills. Can you do it part-time? Can you support yourself that way so you feel less like, okay, I can give this amount of time to it instead of full-time? For creative people, that can be a way around if that's financially possible to do that. So we don't feel like all our time is gone and we've got no time for us or no time to write, and that you could maybe write outside of that. That's just one option. It's like trying to find a way to make it work for you and that is comfortable. Yeah, part-time work if that's possible. Trying to find a way that will work for you so that you feel confident to move forward. And I feel like then the Eight of Wands, things will move fast for you because this is forward movement, momentum, things moving. You will overcome that block essentially, Shruti, okay? So do some work on that in your journaling, in your manifestation. Get clear about what you want to manifest, what you would feel happy with, what you would feel really comfortable moving forward and happy to move forward, and not something that you just have to do. Yeah? That feels like the block, okay? That's a great suggestion from Samreen there. And like I say, maybe part-time work if we just have to pay the bills. Is that something that you could survive on? Is that more sustainable? And then you can leave some space for being creative and searching, you know, writing work outside of that. That's just a suggestion. But for creative people, that can be quite a good way forward. So I hope that resonated, Shruti. So next up we have Sarah, my love. If you were here, please go ahead and post your question. So we have Sarah and then we have Samreen. Samreen, if you want to go ahead and post your question. I'm not sure if Sarah is here. I'm glad that resonates, Shruti. Keep us posted, yeah? It's difficult to be a creative person in this world, yeah? The system is not set up to support that. Thank you, Samreen. Samreen says, B, the guy I met on Tinder, yes, I remember him, told me he had uninstalled the app from his phone but forgot to deactivate his profile. I'm trying to understand his intentions. Is he genuinely interested in something long-term with me, or is he just looking for a short-term fling? Is this the guy though, Samreen, who you did that background check on? I feel like this is like a red flag situation, but let's see what Spirit says. I remember last time the reading said he would be back, yeah. Here he is. Let's have a look at his intentions. Well, it's a major arcana, so, and it is the World. Right, so Samreen, advice here for you is, so the World card actually does, to me, you know, this is, you know, because I'm putting my thoughts and feelings aside and just reading purely what Spirit says, which is always what I try to do, is that this person is trying to do something different, okay? Because the World is about closing out cycles and wanting to start something new and wanting to start something different. That's what the World energy is about. So yes, there are genuine feelings here, and maybe this is a genuine step of what that maybe has uninstalled the app, and that his intentions are to be different, are to close out maybe stuff that behaviors and ways that he's been in the past and start something new. Because this is nice energy, yeah? There's lots of sort of magic in this picture. There's lots of beautiful flowers. There's this bee at the very center, and bees are you know, all animals are magical creatures, but bees are also, you know, the work, if we think of the worker bee, hard worker bee, abundant with the honey, they have all these kind of associations, yeah, which are very positive. So in answer to your question, I feel like yes, their intentions are genuine. Advice for you, Samreen, in how to move forward with this is to move very slowly, okay? If you feel like you want to pursue this, because it's all like free will, if that's what you feel like you still want to kind of entertain this. So you resonate with Queen Bee, Samreen, which is really nice, yeah, the Queen Bee. And Page of Pentacles is about being steady and is about being slow. And because it's a page as well, for anyone who is a regular here, we know that pages are a period of assessment, okay? We're looking at what is being offered to us and we're looking at it carefully. And we're weighing up our options. We're thinking about what's good, the pros and cons. Also what's interesting, I feel like, because this card, this deck, you know, has like this is like an octopus here. To me, in this message for you, Samreen, is I feel like don't put all your eggs in one basket with this bee. Can you pursue other connections as well? You know, keep it open. Continue to date other people, yeah, if you feel like you can do that. I know you have the connection to your ex as well. That's something that is running alongside throughout your energy field all the time as well. So keep the door open, just energetically, you know, keeping the door open to that, keeping the door open to new connections, and keeping the door open to be. So it's interesting that his initial is B, isn't it, as well? And then we've got a B. That just made me think, just a synchronicity there. So move slow if you want to continue this connection. Weigh up the options, be strategic, keep your head screwed on, don't dive into this. And play all options if you can, yeah? But no doubt from what you've told me, there are some red flags there. So even if their intentions are genuine right now, we need to see how this is going to play out, okay? Do they have the ability to really make this change that they want to, that they intend to? You know, let's find out, yeah? Protect your heart, Samreen, okay? I hope that resonated. So next up we have Anne, my love. You're welcome, Samreen. We have Anne, and then we have Emily. If you want to go ahead and post, please do. I'll just do a list update. Thank you, Anne. Anne asks, I'd like to know how my crush's energy and intentions towards me might show up during October and what this could mean for the potential of our connection. Okay. So we're looking at, are we skipping September, Anne? Do you not want to go to September? Why October? I mean, I'm happy to read for whatever you like, but we're just entering September. Okay. Understood, Anne, understood. Page of Swords, communication, information coming through. So things could finally land for you, and if you are in a no contact still now, or either way in October, Page of Swords is about communication coming through. Them actually having something to say to you. The Page of Swords is the bringer of news, is the bringer of information. So this feels good, yeah? This feels like a good sign. This is what we want. Movement, change, progression. Speaking their truth, speaking what's on their mind. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles, which is about, it's a beautiful card about being engaged in effort, okay, and putting energy into this situation, into this connection. So behind this kind of Page of Swords energy, which kind of rushes in, they've got something to say, it's quite a youthful, vibrant energy, the Page of Swords. And then behind that, we've got this nice Eight of Pentacles, which backs it up, which has a kind of more groundedness, yeah? The Eight of Pentacles is all about putting work into something valuable, which is this connection here, yeah? So that's how they feel about this connection, that it's worth putting energy in, it's worth putting kind of like the groundwork in of what it takes, you know, to kind of make a connection work and get it off the ground. It does take intention, focus, all those things. But both these energies for October read well for me, Anne. This positive Page of Swords, which is like a kind of breakthrough moment, and that communication which you're waiting on, backed up with this more grounded Eight of Pentacles energy. So I hope that resonated, Anne. Next up we have Emily. Hey, Anshman. This ring is hurting me. Post your question, go ahead, Emily. And then after Emily we have Machi. I'm glad that resonated, Anne, and aligned with your question. It did. It came through very clear, yeah? It's always nice when Spirit is just like a direct, smooth line of communication, very clear. So are you single, Emily? Are you in a situationship? Let me know if there's anyone that you'd like me to focus on, or if you're looking for new love. You're welcome, Anne. And like I say, after Emily, we have Matchy. If you want to go ahead and post your question, just so we can keep things moving, if you are here, please do go ahead and post. I think I'll have to close the list soon. I will close the list now. So Emily is single. Let's see what's coming next then. Alvin, you are on the list if you are here, just so you know. I'll do a list update soon. Okay, let's see what Spirit has to say, Emily, with regards to what comes next in love. Ooh, well, new love, a love offering. Ace of Cups couldn't be clearer. Again, we love these, Spirit, we love these clear messages that you are bringing through. Cups is all about matters of the heart, romantic love in particular, yeah? It's ruled by the element of water, and this is, because it's an ace, so this is the beginning of a new cycle. Something with a lot of potential. So this opportunity, I imagine that you are, because you're asking what's coming next in love, that you are open to new love and to new connections. And here it is. I'm going to ask about this person's energy, their energetic signature. So maybe that you can recognize it when you see it. Might be someone in your energetic field already, or it could be someone entirely new. So let's try and get a read on their energetic signature. But how nice, what a beautiful message. Three of Pentacles. So this is someone, this is nice energy, okay? So this is more telling us about what they want and where they're coming from. The Three of Pentacles is really a card of collaboration. So it's someone who has the same goal in mind as you. So kind of what they want out of a relationship mirrors what you desire and what you want, Emily, okay? Now, tell you what resonates if this is someone from the past, but it, like I say, it could be someone entirely new, but it's just quite interesting because it's the Three of Pentacles is someone who wants to work things out and work things through, which could suggest that it's that you've had this connection has had some stop-start issues in the past. But if there's no one on the horizon, if that doesn't resonate, then this is just someone new who, the kind of energy of the Three of Pentacles is where you can be different. Yeah, we see we have a wolf here, and then we have this stag. Two different species, okay? But two different species, so two different people with different mindsets, with different energies, with different approaches to life. So it's almost like an opposites attract even kind of situation. But we have the same goal in mind. A relationship, you know, what we want out of a relationship aligns. And it can be a very like a great learning opportunity when there's opposites attract, that, you know, we bring out different sides in each other because we are different. And it's not about being the same, it's about embracing each other's differences and getting on the same page. And because it's Pentacles as well, it's nice because it's earth energy, so this beautiful kind of loving water cup is also grounded by this Pentacles energy, so it's real, it's genuine. They are prepared to put the work in for it to last the distance. So yeah, this is, like I say, tell what resonates. You know your history, you know your situation. This someone's energetic signature is it's kind of an opposites attract vibe. But ultimately, you know, we're on the same page with what we want out of a relationship and where we want to go. And this person is, you know, there's always differences that come up in connections. This person wants to overcome them. Work it out, work it through. So I hope that resonated. So next up we have Machi. I don't think Machi's here. I've called a few times for Machi, so we'll move on to Tia Bia, my love. And then after Tia Bia, we have Priya. And this is the final list. Thank you, Tia. So as the Pisces actions show me that he wants more from our connection. However, his words say he wants to stay casual. What are his true intentions? It's interesting, Tia, isn't it? Because normally, why this is unusual, Tia, why this strikes me as, you know, different, unusual, is that, you know, when it's often the other way around, isn't it, Tia? Sometimes, you know, in connections, someone is promising us something and don't deliver. But this is, as the Pisces is, his actions are delivering, but his words are saying, keep it casual. It's a better way round, yeah? Your way round, Tia. Hey Nat, glad you could make it. Okay, so let's go have a look what's going on with this Pisces. Three of Wands, so planning for the future. There's two of you here as well. Two birds here. It's almost like what I'm hearing is it's kind of like despite them trying to tell themselves a story and maybe tell you, Tia, that this is something casual, yeah? They want to keep it casual. They find themselves nonetheless, you know, kind of planning for the future with you two in this connection, yeah? This bird to me looks like they're kind of with this wand. What I see in this card is like building a nest. You know, how carrying a stick to build a nest. It's almost like despite, well, all I keep hearing is, you know, despite themselves, it's almost like that they're trying to tell themselves a story, trying to hold themselves back. But they find themselves planning for the future with you, thinking about the future. When they look to the future and think of their future, then you are in that picture, yeah? Wands is ruled by fire as well, so this is like their heart's desires, their passions. It's ruled by fire, yeah? And fire doesn't really listen to logic or sense, does it? Fire is just powerful and burns bright. And, you know, there's a fire inside of us that despite what we tell ourselves, the fire doesn't care about that, yeah? The passion doesn't care about that. So how do you deal with this? You know, maybe just ignore it, what his words, and listen to his actions. That thing, you know, people show us who they are. And if this isn't a bad thing, then maybe we just let them tell themselves that story. Yeah, Temperance is just Stay chill, be patient. You know, this will probably, I think, will just fade out if we don't give it too much attention or energy. Temperance is about harmony, harmonizing the situation. You are kind of bringing your role almost, or your part to play in this is just like this sense of flow, Tia. That's what temperance is all about. It's almost like cool waters to this passion and ambition. It's interesting because they're actually the Pisces, but who knows what else is going, you know, Pisces feel things deeply. Yeah, Pisces are very ruled by their emotions ultimately, generally, because they feel so much. But yeah, so this is your part. Just bring your temperance, be harmonious, be patient. I don't know how deeply it bothers you. If it's obviously, I wouldn't say, if you feel like you need to have a conversation about this, then address it. Then by all means do address it, and then maybe leave it be if you feel like you need to do that. But if not, then just kind of almost just ignore it if you can. Just say yeah, and pay attention to his actions, because that's ultimately, actions is what really matter. I like the expression, I was brought up with this expression, love is action, and I do believe that strongly. Words ultimately don't really matter all that much. Love is action, yeah? So I hope that resonates to you. So Priya, my love, thank you, Nat, for moderating. And Priya, go ahead and post your question. Tia says, doesn't bother me that much. I was just curious knowing how much I should invest. Okay, so that should clear that up for you, yeah? Don't put too much weight on it. So we have Priya. Here's my husband, okay. And how is this, Priya, how is this, how is your relationship with your husband? Do we have issues? Do we have problems? Is it good? Let's see how they see you. It's always good for me to know why we're asking what we're asking, you know. It helps me give you a meaningful reading. Okay, so this is you two. So we have a 2. Whenever we see a 2, it's like I always see it as that it's kind of a bonded pair. Obviously husband and wife, but that doesn't always mean that we're a bonded pair. But they see you as bonded pair. And it's interesting because the 2 of Pentacles is, there's often quite a lot of movement. There's even maybe ups and downs, which are normal, which, you know, may experience it, but you may have like a fast moving energy, be someone who is like, you move through life quite fast, maybe are very busy, always active. And I feel like there's almost an energy where you keep them on their toes, Priya, like they're not quite sure what your next move would be. Because 2 of Pentacles is a busy energy, is a fast moving energy. And the kind of caveat for this card is that we need to stay grounded and we need to stay centered. Let me know if this resonates, okay? So, you know, you are their person, you are their partner in crime, their life partner. But maybe there's something about you or about this connection or about your life together that is a bit of a, there's kind of a roller coaster energy. Yeah, there's a busyness. These dolphins are going fast. They're going round and round and round, and this is almost like a tailspin energy. Yeah, so they have to, maybe your husband has to, one of you is like I think it's your husband who kind of needs to ground the energy and not let things spin out of control, or like maybe try and slow things down, and there's a tendency that they might get overwhelmed. So yeah, you keep them on their toes. I'm glad this resonates. So nothing negative here, Priya. Nothing. You know, you are their person. You keep them on the toes. That's both exciting. 5 of Cups, any hardship that you have been through, the losses, the disappointments. Tell you what resonates again with this. One of you has a tendency to dwell maybe a little bit on the losses, on the what's gone wrong in the connection or what needs to be worked on, and instead that person, if they can, really needs to focus on what's going well, on what's working out for you. It could just be in your life, it doesn't have to be in this connection, okay? If that makes sense. It can just be, you know, we all go through losses and disappointments, but I feel like this is one of your energies. One of you is the person who maybe as well helps them pull, maybe this is you to them, maybe they have a tendency to dwell on the negatives, and you help pull them out of that and focus on, actually, let's kind of reframe this, and what's going well for us, what's working for us, the way forward. I feel like they also see you as that person as well. So even you're, you know, maybe that's you go through life fast, you move fast, you're always busy, but you also have this positive outlook and are able to pull them out of their negativity. Hope that resonates. So next up we have Namira. If you are here, please do post. Thank you, Nat, for moderating. The list is closed, unfortunately, Mary. I will be live on Friday again. If you want to join us then, please do. I'll confirm the time tomorrow. But I generally am going live now, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You're welcome, Priya. Thank you, Namira. Thank you, Eco7. Thanks, Nat. So I'll read for Namira and then I will read for Eco7. So Namira asks, my son has a new girlfriend. He met her in China on his holiday. How exciting. And yesterday I met her in FaceTime and she is very lovely. They will meet again end of September in Europe. How will this go with distance? Okay. Let's have a look at the energy surrounding this connection. How this will... Oh, there we go. Okay, 2 2 again, so this is nice. Strong connection, potential here, you know, for a future, for planning. Here is a lion and a lioness, yeah, and a 2, which is again that kind of bonded pair, so big feelings. But then we do have a hanged man, which is almost feels like there's no denying that kind of long distance can slow things down, yeah, and that it needs. The Hanged Man asks us to switch up our perspective, which can be about maybe their expectations about this connection, about having to think of creative solutions to, you know, just making sure that we're staying connected still to keep this kind of going. Because the Hanged Man does have a kind of stuck energy, which means that maybe at some point with a long distance, okay, so if we want it to progress to the next level, this is obviously quite new and fresh, so it's absolutely fine to just see how things go and work things out. And in a way, if you survive the long distance and you can still make it work, then that shows what a strong bond that it is and that it can be, yeah. But we do need to maybe manage expectations, and then ultimately kind of long term, I suppose there might be the need for someone to would move, would relocate, yeah. But here we are, this is hopeful, this is denotes, kind of speaks of the depth of this connection and that there is a real chance for this to work. But it's also about being realistic and kind of managing expectations of long-term commitments and the restrictions that brings, yeah, the limitations. And all that we have to be mindful of in this, the Hanged Man is all about our perspective and our kind of outlook on this. I feel drawn to pull one more, and then I'll leave it there. Five of Cups again, so it will cause some longing, yeah, almost some sadness, that distance, yeah. But what we need to focus on is the potential and the Two of Cups and ways to work this out, yeah. The Two of Cups is about being able to focus on the potential and what's going well for this connection. So yeah, Namira, I just think that it will be a test. There's no doubt. It will be a real test here. It will need them to kind of stick this out and work this out, yeah. And I suppose, yeah, if it really lasts that distance, which suggests that it will from these cards, I feel like that they will want to work this out and work it through, mainly because of this Two of Wands that has shown up here. They kind of are planning the future, and they see each other in their future. So it's really just about being able to overcome the difficulties that this will bring. But I think you're right that this is something real. You say you have a feeling he will move if this will work, yeah. There is a strong connection there. It's just if, you know, because obviously they're very young, but if they have the know-how in a way just to navigate this and put in that effort, then I see that it could last the distance. Right, Eco 7, my love, this is for you. May I ask my guides, am I on the right track with my work process? Anything to switch up? You're very welcome, Namura. CC, if you were here, please go ahead and post. 21 and 22, yeah, so young. But they've probably got the energy to go visit each other, you know, to make that journey and put in that time and effort. I hope it works out for them, Namira. No doubt, though, it would be difficult if he moved. I imagine you might have some feelings around that, Namira, though. Okay, Eco 7, my love, this is for you. Let's have a look. Do we need to switch up anything about your work? Are you going in the right direction? This has come up a lot today. There's always like collective energies that come through. Don't get too hung up or put too much weight, Eco 7, on disappointments, setbacks, if certain things don't work out the way you would hope, the way you had planned. It's very much like with your own business, like a trial and error. And I think it's about how you, I mean, maybe this is in employed work as well, but it feels like particularly in your own business, because it's kind of all on you, is about how you bounce back from what are considered failures or disappointments, yeah? To not give them too much weight, to not give them too much value. Instead, let's like reroute, let's regroup and focus on the 2 cups that remain. So what does work, what has worked in the past, what do we have going for us? That's how we're going to navigate this process, Eco, okay? The best way. So let me know if that resonates, if you feel like you are still struggling with those, maybe what's not working, or if something doesn't go to plan, you know, it really knocks you. I think try to remember this card in that time, you know, if and when that happens, and try to catch yourself then and not of spiraling, because it's very emotionally draining to keep falling down that kind of, I mean, it's easier said than done. I get that, but it's a kind of snakes and ladders thing of we shouldn't look at it head on with the disappointments. Just keep kind of facing forward, if that makes sense, and keep putting just one step in front of the other and not being thrown off course by stuff that doesn't work out. Eight of Swords, again, anxiety, worry, all stuff which is just our mindset, Eco 7. So there's nothing practically for you to do different. It's not telling you to, you know, get more focused or do more, get out there. You know, I feel like you're probably doing all of that side right, doing everything that you can. And really your spirit is saying, just when it comes to your business, if there's anything to switch up, it's just what's going on in your mind and in your mindset and your headspace, and being your own worst critic maybe, or being overthinking and worrying still. And this isn't helping the process. It feels like it's just a drain on you. Again, as someone who, I am an overthinker, so it's easier said than done. Try to challenge that still nonetheless in yourself, because it is just a terrible, terrible waste of energy for us all to do that, yeah? That stuff that keeps us up at night, giving it too much weight, much like these 5 of Cups. So we need to just try to shake that off. And just be almost like just be a dumb optimist. So at times that is just the best approach, you know. this is going to work out amazingly for me. So that's what Spirit would have to say. I hope that resonates, Eco. Namira says, yes, but I already know he won't stay in the Netherlands. So you're prepared in some ways, Namira. He travels a lot to Asia last year. Okay. Thank you, Nat Nat. So, I don't think Cece is here. Do post if you are, but I'll read for Nat Nat now. And Nat Nat says, hi Seer, David invited me to grab a bite this weekend. Oh my goodness. I kept the friendship open with some boundaries. What are the intentions towards me? Okay. David, our King of Swords, Three of Pentacles, wants to work it out, work it through. Collaboration, teamwork. I'm going to pull another card to get more information, but this is, you know how it came up in the past, Nat, that, you know, he'll never let go of you. That rings true back here. I mean, Pentacles is genuine. It is grounded in good faith, if that makes sense. It's the intentions are not ill-willed or manipulative. They just want to connect with you. They just want to have you in their life still. Interesting. Strength card. I think you have always been a source of strength for them. Someone who they get something obviously out of this connection, and they get support from you, can maybe share things with you that they can't share with other people. You are a source of strength. Matters of the heart here, because we have a heart, the very center of this card, yeah? And I do feel like, you know, this is actually, you know, a beautiful energy in this card. Throughout both of them, I see that you are different in many ways. You know, again, the wolf and the stag, the snake and the mouse here. So maybe you are very different in some ways, or at different points in your life. Tell you what resonates with that. But nonetheless, this sort of connection seems to endure, yeah, doesn't it? What do they want out of this meeting? I'll ask that last. Ah, that's funny, Nat. I told him to touch base every month instead of daily, but he's reaching out weekly, like some compromise, hey, Nat. You couldn't quite do a month. Death card, some kind of transformation, a rebirth, an ending, a new beginning. Is something, what's going on in his life? Is he going through, I know he's been ill. Is he going through some big changes, some big transformation? I'm just wondering why this death card has come through. Maybe what's driving why he needs to actually see you. You know, he obviously leans on you and depends on you, Nat, and gets a lot from this connection, and you're a source of strength, like I said. But the reason why does he want to meet face to face, in person, and maybe kind of lean into this connection even deeper is something to do with this death energy. So they're either going something through a dark night of the soul. The death can be that card. There is some change going on for them, which I see. So maybe things have got hard for them, harder than normal. Maybe their illness is really, you know, dragging them through the mud a bit, okay, in this death energy. It kind of really makes you reassess, yeah, and makes you think about your life. It forces you to. Illness is one of the biggest catalysts for that. Having experienced that in my life, it can be, you know, it really changes everything. Lots of things fall away. Lots of people fall away. And you're one of the people who still gets him, that, still understands, is still there for him. So, all good intentions. They have a strong bond with you, Nat, yeah? They may want to share something about, yeah, their dark night of the soul. But yes, you are a source of strength, and that's where this is coming from. I don't know how you feel about that, if that feels okay. Thank you, Anshuman. And then Alvin, you'll be after Anshuman, if you are here, my dear. So Anshuman asks, so my girlfriend Zed, Pisces, is acting cold for me. I know this has been ongoing, yeah. She's also my classmate. We didn't have any quarrel or anything bad. What can I do to make her come to me emotionally and make this connection strong? Okay, so what can you do? Which is always the best question. What can I do? Nat says, to be honest, not sure how I feel about it either. Yeah. I can see how you might feel like that, Nat. Is this just a one-way? How much are you getting out of this? Keep us posted, like you say. Okay, Anshuman, this is for you. Oof, 10 of Wands. So, somewhat, it is an uphill battle for you, Anshuman, of what's going on here, okay? 10 of Wands, this is like two salmon that are fighting to get upstream, okay? To kind of get back to that good place that you want to be in, okay? So, I would say what can you do is just be consistent, keep showing up, keep engaging with her, trying to engage with her, maybe get more of an understanding of why she feels this way, because we can't, you know, if you ultimately, she needs to kind of share and open up more, yeah, in order for you to kind of overcome this. It might not have anything to do with you, it might be what's going on for her on a broader perspective. I am going to pull an energetic card, see if we get anything of why she's acting this way. But for you, you know, if you want to bring closure to this, Ten of Wands is like when we are nearing the end of a battle or of an uphill struggle. The end is in sight. So that's the silver lining here, Anshaman, in the sense that this is going to kind of, I know this dynamic has been going on for some time where she has been acting cold towards you. We are nearing some kind of closure when we have the Ten of Wands, because Ten of Wands is about an ending. So it's either that maybe this connection will close out because she's not going to open up to you, or it will shift and things will get easier. Have you tried to directly talk to her, Anshaman, and ask her why, what is going on with her? It's always worth checking in. You know, let's check that box that we have communicated clearly and said, look, I know something's not right here. What's going on with you? Is it something that I've done? Is it something that's going on for you outside of that? Make sure that we keep an open space of like to set communication lines open. But ultimately, if someone is just going to behave this way and not tell us what's going on, then, you know, ultimately we have to walk away, Anshaman, with that, yeah? Two of Swords. Okay, so I don't know what you mean by that, Anshaman. Two of Swords is like angsting over decisions. So Zed is feeling in an indecisive energy with this Two of Swords, okay? They are in an uncomfortable position. There's something that they feel mixed up about, okay? It's causing them anxiety, it's causing them stress. It could be to do with this connection, that they feel unsure about this connection, and you're getting, that's why they're acting this way. They don't feel like they don't want to move forward with it, they don't want to end it, they feel indecisive. Or it could be something else that is stressing them, if you're aware of what's going on in their life, about something that is taken over their thought process and is messing with their head, yeah? So that's their energy. They need to basically just jump one way or the other. The most painful bit often is like when we're stuck in that indecision. Once we can get clear about the way forward, which we need to trust our intuition at that point and then just kind of go for it, yeah? But that's what's going on for her, Anshaman. So what should you do? That the Ten of Wands is that what you should do, Anshaman. So it's an uphill battle. Do you want to take that on? It's up to you how much energy and effort you want to put into this, okay? But if you want to stay in this connection, if you want to make this work, then we just need to show up, be consistent, put in the effort, put in the energy, be there for her while she works this out. And at some point there will be a turning point. You'll either have a breakthrough moment with her, or if we don't see any movement or change in her, Anshaman, then you would have to walk away. So yeah, be prepared for hard work and effort, but if you are up for that, then fight for this, essentially, yeah? And you will get to, that change will happen. And with this 10 of Wands, I would say that it's closer, like I mentioned before, it's closer than you might think. So I hope that resonated. So Mary, the list is closed. I did mention before, so I will be live on Friday, so do catch us live on Friday. Yeah? So last but not least, we have Alvin. If you were here, my love, please go ahead and post. Last but not least. Keep us posted, Anshuman. You're welcome. Thank you, Alvin. Thanks, Nat Nat, for moderating as well. So Alvin asks, what are HM's desires for our connection with her? And I've been separated for a month and a half for our work projects. So is this one of, because I know there was 2 love connections, Alvin, that we had going on. Is HM, just remind me, HM is one of these? I know last time we spoke you weren't feeling so great about either of them. Have a blessed day too, Nat Nat. Thank you so much for being here. Keep us posted about David. HM is a reconnection. So someone new, is this, Alvin? Someone from the past who we're reconnecting with. Okay, so what are HM's desires for this connection? King of Cups. So this is romantic, am I right, HM? Alvin, sorry, just give me some context. But we have the King of Cups, which is matters of the heart, a deep dive. The message of the King of Cups, okay, is, so HM is an ex who I had to step away from to take care of myself for 6 months. So what are HM's desires for this connection is that they have deep feelings here, okay? Deep emotions, and I would say are pretty invested in this, okay, Alvin? I'm going to pull another card to get more on this, but King of Cups is about, I mean, there's feelings of love here, really, is what I'd say when a King of Cups or a Queen of Cups shows up. I would say that they do, I would go as far as to say that they do love you or in love with you. And the King of Cups is about when King of Cups is thriving, they are able to feel these deep feelings and not be overwhelmed. The shadow side of the King of Cups is when we are totally sort of like ruled by our emotions and we kind of get washed away by them, yeah? So that's the thing with the sea, with the ocean and having deep feelings, is that, yeah, it can get really choppy when we lose our handle on our emotions, okay? But if we can go deeper and stay centered, you know, that's always where it's calm, yeah? And we can feel deeply and not be overwhelmed and, you know, knocked about by the choppy seas. I think they want as well, because it's the kind of King of Cups, they want this reciprocated back from you. I don't know if you're able to offer them that, how deep your feelings go, but I do feel like that they want this. What are their desires is they want you to be able to meet them in that place as well. So despite this separation for a month and a half for work projects, you know, it's almost like that's kind of by the by. They don't, you know, they want to stay connected with you. Their feelings remain the same. They want to know that you feel deeply about them, Alvin, as well. And I don't know if you do feel, how you feel about that. Yeah. Hierophant is quite a traditional card, which could suggest again that they want to do things like the right way and kind of by the book, and they don't really want to do anything unconventional. The Hierophant is about institutions in a way, and often touches on even like the institution of marriage, you know. I'm not saying that they want to get married, you know, they may, but it's more about what they need and what they want is for things to kind of, for them to, I think, maybe feel safe, because this is often a reconnection, so there can be issues of trust and wanting to rebuild that. And in order to rebuild that, we need to do things kind of the right way, like take a traditional approach, you know, like go on dates, like court them. I know that sounds very old fashioned in some ways, but maybe, you know, court them, create traditions within yourself, like habits about when you check in, so that they know when to expect you to check in, and little things like that. Yeah. And take quite a conventional step-by-step approach. That's what they would like. That's what they would respond to. And yeah, that they feel deeply about this, Alvin. So I hope that resonates, what you want to hear. I don't know how that makes you feel, but this gives us a kind of clear idea about where they're coming from and what they need and what they want. It feels like a fair exchange, you know, if we're reconnecting and we're having some very big feelings. It seems like probably a wise and good idea to follow the kind of Hierophant. Maybe they want you to take the lead a bit on this as well, because the Hierophant does kind of have leadership qualities as well. You know, this person is listening. Okay, you tell me how you kind of want it to go as well. I'm glad that resonates, Alvin. Okay, so there we go. Thank you everyone who joined us today. Thank you for bringing your questions, for bringing your energy. Thank you, Nat Nat, for moderating. I'll be live again this Friday. Just watch out. I will confirm the time tomorrow, Thursday. I'll post on the community tab. So just keep an eye for all updates there. But wishing you all a good day, good evening, wherever you are. Love and light. Alvin says, I've been taking the lead and they're responding well. So this all lines up. Awesome. Love and light, Alvin. Love and light, guys. Take